What's up, everyone? It's Matt Rosick. This will be work in progress number 3 on this Hulk. So yesterday I got the pants done. That's all I got done, unfortunately, because I had a little snafu up here, and things just take longer than anticipated. So I'm going to work on now are the nails. So for my reference, I've got this picture. So they're kind of yellow, not yellow, but they're kind of a warm, almost tan with some weathering kind of dirt stuff. So we're going to go for that. First thing I got to do is base coat these. So I think a good color for that. I do have a bone color. It's almost natural bone. I think what I might do is get a base layer of maybe a light gray, kind of like what I was using yesterday initially for this, and then go over it with this kind of natural bone. I don't know if I have any more of this natural bone. This is like the perfect color. Do I have something similar to that in an acrylic? If I mix up some of this heavy brown, because this is like the perfect color. So I'm gonna put a little bit actually in a palette here, and I'm gonna try to mix up. It's almost like a desert tan. So I'm gonna see if I have something similar to this, like in a Vallejo, and hopefully it won't do weird things when I go to seal it like I did yesterday. So it's kind of like this desert tan color. So let me see what I can come up with. I'm gonna try to mix some of this up. Because I gotta base coat them first, and then I gotta seal them, and then we'll do some pastel work and stuff on them. So I'm gonna mix a little bit of this, a little bit of white, and see what I come up with. More white. It's pretty close. A little more white. And I'm going to add just a touch of yellow to this, I think. Just a little bit. He doesn't want yellow nails. So I'm looking at my reference photo, and it's got just a little bit of yellow in it. So I'm going to do that. And a little bit of, I've got this heavy golden. I'm just going to do a little touch of that. Okay. So it looks pretty good. Maybe just a little more white. I'm gonna have more paint than I need as usual. The Vallejos tend to dry down quite a bit, so okay. So I kind of got this color mixed up in the cup. So the first step is to base coat everything. Get these all bottled. So in my, what I have mixed up is I have probably, I don't know, 75% white, 20% heavy brown, and then I got a little bit of the yellow in there. That goes here. And when I brush this on, I want to make sure I brush, because I am going to do some dry brushing. These nails have some texture casted in them already. So I brush, I want to make sure I brush in this direction, so that any brush strokes I have emulate that look. So let me see if I got those brushes out here already. A flat brush would be good. Okay. So I'll just do a little bit of this on camera because, again, it's going to be the same process with all the toes and fingernails. So I'm going to start, let's see, which was the best one in camera. I got 4 lights, but they're never in the right spot because my camera's in the way. There we go. So let's just start on this middle one because it's right here in frame. I'm going to outline it first. And I want to brush in this direction. And I'm going to let these dry really good before I try to seal them. I think maybe my problem yesterday was I tried to seal that gray area too fast, and the top coat reacted with the paint. So you can see that this covers pretty much in one coat. And again, I have to do a lot of this off camera because I can't see what the hell I'm doing. I gotta get down low to get that front edge. And then I'm just going to do another quick little brush on it. Alrighty. These will get much darker when I'm done. I'll do a wash and dry brushing and stuff. So again, multi-step process on these guys. I'm just looking at this in the light, make sure I got all the brush strokes. So that's the deal. We're gonna base coat everything like that, and then seal it, let dry, and seal it, and come back. Alright, so I got the nails all base coated. Took about an hour and a half or so, I went through it and used my little toothpick to kind of clean up any edges. And now we're gonna start kind of dirtying these guys up. So again, I'm just gonna kind of show you on one nail or two, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is kind of do a wash on these guys. Let's see what I got for washes. 1 second. I can do a green wash. I don't want to do brown. Let's see what I got. I'm just over here looking at my washes real quick. Maybe Starship wash. Let's see how dark this may be too dark. Let's see. Yeah, I'm almost out of it. Actually, that might just be perfect. It's got a little bit of green in it. I need to order some more of this. I got a stack of empty bottles over here, stuff I've got to order again. And get a brush. My work areas again. Once again, a wreck. What happens in the middle of painting, things just get thrown around. Okay, so I'm going to try this on a small nail, and then we'll go from there. So I want this to kind of go around the nail bed and to darken up the nail overall. So let's see what this does. I'm going to get a clean brush to kind of clean up any little mess ups. This is an enamel, so this will take a little while to dry. But again, I can't do any brush strokes in this direction. So that already is looking pretty good. I did seal these, by the way. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And then I usually do the nail beds. I usually go around the nail beds with some pastels. And do shading with pastels. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna do that to the rest of the nails and let it dry, and then we'll seal it again. And then we'll go in and do some, probably some dry brushing, light dry brushing. And go from there. All right, I wanna show you something here on the fingernail. So this wash is actually working out really well. So I was worried that because the feet, are flat, so the wash doesn't run down too much. It's actually working perfectly on the nails here because I'm getting the shading that I want, dark to light here, just because of gravity is making the wash go down by the nail bed. So if I'm lucky, after this dries and I seal it, I don't have to do anything else. I've never done a wash on the nails before. I usually just go in and do pastels, but I thought I'd try something different on this piece, and it's working out pretty well so far. So, but once I get it the way I like, I can't touch it because I gotta be careful because sometimes I'll soak up the wash with my brush, like right there, I soaked it up. I don't want to do that, but it's yeah. Let's see if I can show you on one of these nails. This one here's a good example. So I take this. Again, it's hard to do this on camera because I can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to turn it this way so I can hopefully see what I'm doing. So I basically put it on. If I got too much, I just kind of dab the towel on the table. Just first I'm painting it on just to get an even coat. Just like that. And I get some up here on the hand, it just wipes right off. So until this dries, and even after it dries, I can wipe off any excess. Kind of what the beauty about these nails. Now you can see the gravity is just kind of naturally making it go down into the nail bed. Like then I get the little striations that are there in the nail. Just kind of keep working it. And it's all really in how hard I push down on the brush when I'm brushing. The harder I push down, it takes up some of the wash. So nail up. I'm starting to see something else nail up here. I want to fix. See, I can go in there, take some up. Let's see, I kind of went too far, took too much up, so I'm going to just do the whole thing like this and then add a little bit more back on. And sometimes it helps I just let this dry for a minute and come back to it. So you gotta get the perfect amount on there. And there we go. I was kind of doing it. So I just wipe my brush off onto my work towel. You can draw it up. It's just it's a back and forth, adding it on, taking it off. But as you do this back and forth, you get a real nice effect on the nail. So right now I'm barely putting any pressure on the brush, it's just kind of grazing the surface. Let's see, I just probably put too much on. Trying to get to go a little darker down here and lighter up here. So when I wet my brush off on my towel, sometimes it gets the brush too dry, and then it soaks too much of the wash up. So it's like a very fine line as far as like how much you soak up and how much you put down. Looks pretty good there. Just touching it there to kind of go on the nail bed. It's right there. There we go. So this kind of technique, just kind of working it back and forth, and then once it's dries, we'll seal it and see what it looks like. Okay, so those dried, I sealed them, they look really good. I'm gonna do one more step. I'm gonna go in with some pastels. This is metal slag color. And this is just gonna be like one more last little thing I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna just show you on one of them to kind of help blend these in a little bit. I'll just kind of soften up any transitions between the nail and the skin. It's a pretty subtle effect, but it's a nice little. Actually, I don't like this brush. It's a little too stiff. It's just gonna a little softer. So I'm not even sure if you can see a difference, but. So I'm going to do this to all of these, and I'm going to seal them again, and the nails will be done. So yeah, the nails took half a day. What I'm going to do next after the nails is I'll get the hair done. And then I'll work on, I got some family coming over today, so hopefully I can get, if I get the portrait done tonight, that'd be awesome. See, I'm just going here and just dabbing it right in the creases there. Between the nail and the skin. Just adds a little shadow and kind of helps tie it all together. And you notice I have the base in black. That's in prep to do all the stonework and weathering. I actually did that on day one. I got it all primed in black. Yeah, see, there's just a little bit of, even do a little bit underneath the toes here. That's pretty dark right there because of the light's not on. There we go. Yeah, so I'm just And it comes up on the skin a little bit. That's okay, actually. Let's do that. Let's bring it up on the skin a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that looks really good. So this last little step is a nice little touch. I'm gonna dirty this nail down a little bit overall. Yeah, doing that wash worked really well. I'm happy with the results, so I'll have to do that in the future. Alright, so we're gonna do that to the other foot and the hands, seal it, and then we'll come back. Alrighty, so I sealed the nails and they look really good. So next I'm going to do is I'm going to base coat the hair. And for that I'm using Golden Artist Acrylics. This is their, I think it's called Heavy Base. Anyway, it's really good stuff. Like a tube of this is like, this big tube is maybe at the most $12, where the little Vallejo thing is like $3. So you get a ton of paint. So I add just a teeny tiny bit of water to this, not much. And then we're gonna base coat the hair. Again, I'm not gonna show this all on camera because it's pretty boring, monotonous thing to watch and do. And it takes me a while. Just any kind of base coating takes a while. So I just got some paint in my cup, added just a little bit of water to help it smooth out a little bit. And the one thing I like about the Vallejo is that I can usually do it with one coat. These take usually 2 coats of paint. It's no big deal, especially when you add water to it. It just thins it down a little bit, but I like to add a little water because it helps it flow a little bit better. So take them off and I'll put them in my lap. And this is one of those cases where it's all one piece, so it's a little hard to maneuver. So I typically will step away from my bench so I don't knock them into the corner, the tabletop, which I have done in the past. I'll be turning and I'll knock it and I'll scratch something because I hit my tabletop. So I come in here with the fine brush, and I like the hair sculpt a lot. You just come in here and do this. I mean, it's not rocket science. You just gotta be careful around the edges. That's what takes the longest, is doing the edge. Let me open my exposure a little bit. They sculpted all these little individual hairs onto the forehead, which looks great. It just takes longer to paint because you just have to go around them all. It kind of saves you the step from having to paint them on, because a lot of times if the sculpt doesn't have that in the sculpt, or they're like sculpted onto the forehead, you got to go in there with a brush and kind of add them. Otherwise it looks like they're wearing a wig. It looks really weird, so I'll go in and paint just some very fine lines, like a little wisps of hair on top of the head or the forehead. So I just use this little lining brush for this part. Lining brushes are some of my favorite. I love using them because this is a short one, but usually a lining brush is pretty long. But what it does is, like, if your hand's shaky, it kind of takes that shake out. It's like a buffer. So when I come upstairs to paint after having my double shot espresso coffee that I drink every morning, it's handy to have that. So we're going to do that and then we'll come back. Okay, so the hair's been base coated, it's been sealed, and now all I got to do is dry brush some green on it. And I don't go crazy with this, I just do a little bit to give it some shape. Really like this hair sculpt. Looks really nice. So we've got them all put together here on the base. So if we can do this while he's up there, I need a little cup for some paint. So I'm gonna use Vallejo Game Paint. This is heavy green. Again, I don't want his hair to be really green. I just want it to have some shape. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of dry brushing. Great thing about this color is if I get anything on the skin, I really don't have to worry about cleaning it up because it's about the same shade of the skin. I think you can see there it's starting to get a little tone to it. If I want these top ones to be a little brighter, I'll go kind of in the direction of the hair. I'll make them a little more predominantly green. Maybe some of these top stripes will do that, and then we'll continue to do this. A little spot there where this is probably one of the best hair sculpts I've seen on a Hulk. I really, really like it. I need to ask Marcus who sculpted this. Give him credit. So after this, all I got left are the teeth and the eyes. So probably get one of them done tonight. I'll probably do the eyes tonight. Teeth take me a long time. Everything takes me a long time. What am I talking about? Okay, I think that may be about it. Just a few minutes to do that. I'm going to kind of hit a couple of these top strands going that way. Alrighty. So that'll do it for the hair. Looks good. So just gotta seal that again, and it's done. So next thing I'll do, I think what I'll do is I'll call this work in progress done, and that'll be the nails and the hair. And then the next video I'll do the work in progress on the eyes and the teeth. That way I have shorter videos. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one where we wrap this guy up.